Hi, everyone. So I wanted to give you an example of how to do the Snail Cam, because I know that was a bit tough. So here we go. I already made my parameter. I'm calling it D for the diameter, and it is 2. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put a new sketch on the front plane, and I'm going to use my view cube to turn around and look at it. Now, you weren't given a complete description of the snail cam, so everybody's snail cam is going to look a little bit different, but you were given 2 coordinates, and so I'm going to add those coordinates in here. I know that directly above, I have 2 points that are going to be added, and I'm going to dimension them right away. So I know the lower one is going to be, this was supposed to be a D, D divided by 4, I believe. There we go. And then the upper one, the max distance is supposed to be a D divided by 2. There we go. So I've locked down these 2 points here. Oops, didn't like that. Let me just delete that out here. A D, there we go, divided by 2. There we go. All right, so now what I want to do is you have that, the radius, which is by definition is the distance between the center of a rotation and the perimeter. As we rotate around, this is supposed to increase at a uniform rate, which is really, really tough to do. So I'm going to think about this in terms of quadrants. I've got a quadrant 4 is where I'm going to, a quadrant 2, which is where I'm going to start. I'm going to rotate to quadrant 3, rotate to quadrant 4, come back up to the very top here through quadrant 1. Now I want these things to be evenly spaced. So if I want to be able to increase the radius half of this distance by the time I get down here, as I've gone through 2 quarters. So down on the lower y-axis, you can think of it that way. So this was d over 4, which is 2/8 of a diameter. This was d over 2, which is 4/8 of a diameter. So I'm going to add a point here, and this is going to be 3/8 of a diameter. So I'm trying to evenly space out these dimensions. So this here is going to be the diameter. We're going to multiply by 3. Oops, I didn't do the multiply here. Oops. Diameter, we're going to multiply by 3 and divide by 8. There we go. All right. So again, this here is a distance of 2/8. This is a distance of 3/8, and the top one's a distance of 4/8. So we can see that we're evenly spaced as we walk around. Then I'm going to add 2 more. I'm going to try to do these evenly spaced out. I want to increase the radius at a constant rate here if I can. So this was, again, 2/8. This is 3/8. So I need this to be 2.5/8, which is really 5/16. So I'm going to measure this is going to be the diameter, and we're going to multiply by 5 and divide by 16 because it's 5/16 of the diameter. Oops, again, I'm not doing this here quite right. I need the diameter. I need to actually select that, and we need times 5 and divide by 16. There we go. Okay, then this last one here, this is going, the bottom one here is 3/8. This upper one here is 4/8. So this is going to be 3.5/8, which is 7/8 of the diameter. That's how I'm going to measure that. Oops. So from here to here, this is going to be the diameter, and we are going to multiply by 7 and divide by 16. There we go. Okay, I'm going to move this over here a little, move this over here a little bit. You can see that. All right, so we're going to start up here, and we're going to rotate around. We're going to hit all of these coordinates. So again, what I did is I divided things up into quadrants so I could kind of like evenly split this up. Okie doke. I'm actually going to try the ellipse tool. So this is where on the ribbon here, usually we're on a circle. Let's try something new. Let's try the ellipse tool. So an ellipse is like an elongated circle. You can think about that. All right, so the way the tool works is first you grab the center, and you can see what shape it makes, right? I can even rotate the ellipse. So I'm going to grab the center, then I'm going to grab one of the coordinates, and then I'm going to grab it on the other axis, and it makes the ellipse, and it's guaranteed to go through the coordinates that I want. And then I'm going to trim off the parts I don't want. And there we go. And I'm going to continue on with this. So I'm going to grab my ellipse. The way you make the ellipse, you click the center first, then the coordinates that we want. These are the major and the minor axis of the ellipse. And now I'm going to trim off the parts again I don't want. And we continue on with this. Click on the center, click on the dimensions you want for the major and the minor axes. Then we're going to trim off the parts we don't want. And lastly, do it in the quadrant 1, click the center, click on the major and the minor axes again, and we're going to trim off the parts we don't want. Then we can close it off, and then from there, you're of course going to add in your center rectangle, which is going to be where the axis is going to go through. Notice that I'm using the center point rectangle, right? So this is going to be 0.125 and 0.125. There you go. All done. And then you can extrude it, and you will have your cam. Thank you.